Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha and Butler are here. I'm looking at our Twitch chat room, and we have a couple of rascals in there. You know, they're kicking around certain things. And our good friend Juan, we know him from the Yellow Brick Road Foundation, and we also know him. He's just a friend of the show.
Yep.
He's in there kind of kicking around the idea of starting a new hobby this year. I think it was Juan who said he wants to possibly start a bonsai tree project for the year.
Okay.
I have always thought bonsai trees to be stupid.
Stupid waste of time.
Yeah, stupid waste of time. Perfectly said. Stupid waste of time. What say you, Tom Van?
Well, I put it is a waste of time, but it's in the same category as all wastes of time, which are hobbies and video games and everything like that, because you're just either you're entertaining yourself or you're de-stressing yourself or you found some place that gives you less anxiety, so you're doing, there's all a reason.
But how long does it take? It seems like an excruciating amount of time. Like a bonsai tree to me is almost like a bird in the fact that I think once you have a bonsai, it's with you for a solid 300 to 400 years.
I don't think you have to do much. I think the whole thing...
You have to bind it, right?
I think you have to do quite a bit, yeah.
I think you got to wrap it with string.
But it's a tree, so everything moves.
You're torturing
super slow.
it, right? You're binding it like they do women's feet.
Yes.
You bind it like you'd bind a geisha's feet in order to form it into the swirly-doos that you want it to do.
Yeah. It's just,
It's the ultimate
train
God
it
complex. If you have a bonsai tree, I'm gonna think that you have a God complex, and you like to micromanage things.
But I'm
gonna think ill of you.
Anything with plants, look, Juan's a part of the growers and showers.
I'm in that group, and I don't get any
good
knowledge.
You shouldn't be in the. Juan kicked Daniel out of the group.
No, I'm in there.
Daniel's not a grower or shower.
I am a grower to shower.
No, you threw my pepper plants off your balcony.
I did, but I've grown this business to epic proportions.
This is not a plant. That was for plant lovers
and
only.
I'm sorry that I have not shown you how to work the computers.
Clean growers and showers out and go and look at all their pictures. If there's no plants,
why are you cleaning me out? I have plants. No, you're not kicking me out.
You don't have any plants. What plants?
I do have plants.
What plants?
I'm getting plants this weekend.
No, kick him out, Juan.
No,
kick
leave
him
me
out.
at the stop the steal. Leave
kick
me
him out.
No, this is BS.
No, he doesn't deserve to be.
I don't get
he knows
anything
nothing
good
about
out of
plants.
That. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm going to get some. Hey, I'm thinking about picking up. Anybody got? All you guys do on there is talking about your garbage plants and eat.
That's what they
banana peels.
Listen, you could kick me out of the video game group
I don't
because
even
I
think
don't
you're
play
in the video
games.
game group.
I see the
You're
nerds
only
that I
in
get
the
mad
video
at
game group to beg for free stuff for your sons.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's true.
Now Travis just gives me all his
junk,
Star Wars stuff, which I was playing with Max and Tommy over the weekend with. Had a Darth Vader helmet on and Darth Maul. And I was whacking them
you
crazy
can have
with
all
the
that. Yeah. It's just that's fun.
So bonsai,
whack your kids with a bunch of plastic garbage.
So
I did drag my husband to a bonsai exhibit at the North Carolina Arboretum.
Oh man, was he able to?
Why the hell did you do that?
How did you calm him down afterwards? I mean,
how
he called me an old meemaw the whole time.
I would imagine his resting heart rate during the entire thing was in upwards of 140, 170.
Did you do this?
You put up with it for a Heroes BJ.
Well, hold on. Why did you like bonsai exhibits so much?
It just happened
obviously
to be
gets her
at
horny,
the
warms her
actual
mouth up.
arboretum.
Apparently.
So it was just some sort of random.
It was part of the whole experience.
What? The
It
Heroes
honestly
BJ
was.
experience?
It wasn't that great. It was pretty boring.
Now what is the purpose of the bonsai tree?
Oh, there's a store we have to go to. Juan says Bonsai World on Conroy.
Oh wow.
You want to do a go-to show at Bonsai World?
No.
If I walk
it'd
in
be
there,
impossible. It'd be the worst show
If
ever
I
done.
walk in there and there's one white person, I'm walking right out.
Well, yeah, it's they'll be.
I don't get my bonsais from no round eye.
That's all it's going to be. I guarantee it.
So, but there's something to the whole bonsai tree thing where it's more than just obviously manipulating this tiny tree.
Oh, yeah. They'll have some catchphrase. Oh, think outside the bun. Bonsai
Nope.
trees.
But there's also like grooming it and shaping it in a certain way. But once it's done,
I have a daughter. I have to do that to her. I don't have time for a tree.
Well, I'm just curious to what is it? What's the thing? Like, because with any plant, like I mean, I have some plant that I propagated 2 years ago, and it's 18 inches.
You've been bragging about this 18-inch propagated plant for
but I'm just saying it's so slow. So like 2 years, I grew a plant that's 18 inches.
Right. That's why I don't want to do bonsais, because I like video games. I didn't even like your analogy, because at least a video game, there's some sort of instant gratification to it. The bonsai, the only instant gratification I'm ever going to get is buying supplies, or, buying it for the first time. Everything else is just going to be like a very tedious process.
But that's what I think is part of it. I think that is the point.
But it's slow. How are you going to even know if it's moved?
Well, then you don't. I mean, over years it changes.
You'd have to take photos to even know what you did.
Yeah, I think
I'm not sophisticated enough to even know what the tree started like and how it is now.
Samantha, look up bonsai tree in Wikipedia and just read there's got to be some sort of tell to what the grander thing is, because you're right, it's super boring. And once you cut the bonsai tree and groom it to where you want, then it's excruciatingly slow. Because even like the leaves to cut it again,
it's like turning a cruise ship.
Yeah, it's like, so once you sculpted the leaves to a ball, let's say, like you got a perfect round ball, right?
I don't want a round ball. That's a topiary, right? That's different than a bonsai tree.
Or like it's a dome, a mushroom top, or whatever the hell. Like I don't know. Once you sculpt it, then it's going to change very little. And there's not much to do. So a lot of it is doing nothing to it, right?
It's not like our fish tank. Our fish tank requires
oh, God.
I think our fish tank requires constant attention. It's like a newborn baby.
It was doing it. I got here today, and it was
whipping froth crazy. So it was whipping it like, sha! And then it would whip more mung froth off the top. It looked like when I walked in here, I had to wear a yellow raincoat and a jacket. It was like I was on the deck of the Cornelia Marie.
It was full mung. And there's green crazy.
This place smells like straight up Lombardi's in here.
And then apparently we got to dump the water in the top because we got to clog mung clog.
Yeah, we got a mung clog.
Yeah. So they told us mung clog, dump 1.5 gallons precisely into the top.
Well, I've been putting every afternoon, I've been putting one slice of unthawed Texas toast in the top. And I think that's what's doing it. I think it's all that frozen garlic butter.
Samantha, did you happen to look up bonsai?
So bonsai translates in Japanese to tray planting.
Wait, pause for 1 second. Did you just tell Samantha about our mung clog just to give her enough time to look up bonsai trees on the internet?
I had already had it up. I was just waiting for you to
say. I just wanted to give Tom a compliment for being goddamn brilliant.
No, there was no plan. Mung popped into my head. I was like, talk about mung for mung. And then I was like, oh, yeah, the thing. So what is it?
So it is a Japanese art form which utilizes cultivation techniques to produce in containers small trees that mimic the shape and scale of full-size trees.
You know what's better than that? Cultivating real full-size trees, right?
Well,
because that helps the earth. These little trees. You know how many of these little trees we're going to need to reverse all the damage we've done to the environment?
It was just a hobby.
I've heard the song by Little Dicky. We've done some damage.
So does it tell you once you get your bonsai to the way you want it, then it's just about slowly manipulating it to get it to where you want? But it's
like marriage.
It's slow.
That's marriage. You slowly manipulate it until you get a Corvette when you're right around 70 years old, and then you die.
Is there an element of patience and
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's basically like meditative art.
What can you do wrong? Isn't it closer to like those? What are those plants that you hate and you say
succulents?
Succulents.
Oh yeah, like cactus.
God, I say that about anything else. He never knows what I'm talking about. I say, what are those plants? He's like, succulents. It's succulents, Daniel.
He hates them.
So like bonsai, you're not like watering this thing in like a thirsty plant, right?
No. It looks like just some.
It kind of just maintains. You just missed it. You use hot breath on it. It'll live forever.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? How can you do it wrong? How can you poorly bonsai?
I don't know. I mean, that's someone.
Juan, you're the one that wants this stupid hobby that I'm trying to crap all on. Is this the first segment of the S bucket?
No, that's a no because no one's bucket list is to get into bonsai tree hobby.
I don't know. Careful what you say. You might offend some people.
I don't care. If your bucket list is to get a bonsai tree, you have a bad bucket list. Yeah, that's the poorest of all.
Why did we use the term bucket too? People say like, "Oh, that's a bucket list." Or remember when
he kicked the bucket?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's the.
Well, what does kick the bucket come from?
I don't know. Well, I can guess.
You're milking a cow and you have a heart attack, and then your feet go out from under you.
You kick the bucket.
Kicking the bucket over, spilling the milk.
Okay. I will go. You're on a ship. Okay.
Oh, I like this.
And you're swabbing the deck, right? And then you somehow fall off or die of scurvy or something. And then the same thing, along the same lines as Daniel was talking about milking the cow, but it somehow happens on a ship. And I'm going like, you spilled the bucket or you fell overboard.
You know what's funny about this analogy, because the chat room is nailing it, is that this analogy would not work for me. They say when you go to hang yourself, you need someone to kick the bucket out from underneath you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't kick the bucket. I'd have to kick the drum. I need more distance.
There are different theories
kick the ladder.
About kick the bucket, but that is one of them, the hanging thing.
What's the other one?
The
hanging thing. Hold on, 3 Men and a Baby. In the background, it was a midget too.
No, that's Wizard of Oz.
In archaic
No, it was 3 Men and a Baby. A midget hung himself.
No, I thought that was the Wizard of Oz. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In an archaic use of bucket was a beam from which a pig is hung by its feet prior to being slaughtered, and to kick the bucket originally signified the pig's death throes.
All right.
Oh, it's flopping against the bucket?
That one sounds realer than the hanging yourself one.
That's brutal if you have to watch that before you go to school.
Because all the hanging yourself movies that I've seen, they always use a chair.
Yeah, it's always a chair.
And it's red, and he's up there, he does. I mean, he rocks the chair back and forth, and then
they do the thing where they show the shadow. I'm like, don't even film the shadow. Turn the camera completely away.
And why'd you put your name in the top red? Why put that on everybody else that walks by? And the lady that was nice enough to rent her room to convicts,
she didn't need
that. You're going to vandalize her property?
She didn't need that.
She is a sweet old lady that was giving convicts a second chance.
Well,
and you're
bad juju in there.
You carved into her wood beams up there?
It was disrespectful.
Red, come on. You're better than that. So, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Bonsai?
No. Oh, bonsai. Stupid.
Okay.
And
you know what'd be funny? Has anybody ever... Okay, you get a bonsai. You start it out a little bit. You get to that trunk gets big on the bottom, right? Then you need a very, very tiny chainsaw to come through, and you got to cut that thing like flush and then lay the wood to the side and then make it almost like a funny bonsai deforestation, right? Miniature chainsaw? Huh? I'd sell 1,000 of these at Spencer's Gifts.
I like plants. And I got into them at the start of COVID.
And then you swore to me you'd get out of it, but I think that was just because you didn't think this was the new way of life. Now that you know this is the new way of life, you're back into plants. And I got to tell you, I lost a little respect for you.
No, I've gotten too busy, so they're all like, I'm, not taking care of them. They're all like slowly.
You're neglecting your plant babies?
They're all getting diseased and stuff. But I like it when I can see the plants grow or there's some sort of like difference in like 6 months. I just feel like the bonsai is so
takes too long.
And maybe that's the point. It's like the ultimate patience or plant lovers like
well, every good Florida home growing up, I'm going to guess, you can tell me if I'm wrong, every good Florida kid growing up in Florida would have one of two things in his living room. You would either have like Sailor's Delight living room where you have a lamp that's full of seashells and maybe you have a shadow box that has America's Cup in there, seashell soaps, stuff like that. We didn't have that. We didn't go that direction. We went in the fake bonsai tree direction.
Okay.
And we had a lot of weird Asian artifacts within my home.
Okay.
Like statues and weird paintings that almost looked like Kama Sutra, but it wasn't like any nudity. It was just like those weird Japanese stick figure men, like riding elephants, almost like it looked like Genghis Khan, or it was that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Everywhere we looked, my mom had some sort of little Japanese bric-a-brac.
Yeah.
She became obsessed with this show on TV called Shogun. So then she just started stealing pieces of Asian culture and stuffing it in our trash house.
I like that. You just take the parts of people's culture that you like,
the fancy ones,
and then you decorate your house. I think that's perfectly fine.
That's what we had. That she had the what is it the what are those things called, like a divider? Or, like a Japanese, like where like an old woman would go behind there, and the photographer would be like, you could go behind this fence, I guess. And I could see your whole figure shining through it.
I see your long.
I can see your negligee.
Tease.
Yeah.
It's not hiding anything. It's
It's
a magician flash paper that's see through.
What is that thing even called?
Yeah.
It's like a partition, and then the woman gets behind there, and it's so backlit. I can see your bush. That's how backlit it is.
Two things. One of the most America's Funniest Home Videos of all time. Hard to find it, but if you could find it, maybe someone in the Twitch chat room can. It's there's
Is this the one you can't find?
No. There's some sort of middle school play that they're doing, or some sort of presentation, and I can't tell if it's in a school or some sort of cafeteria area. Anyway, but it's a makeshift, and they had to set up a stage in an area. It's not a built-in stage, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
So there's like tubes holding material to kind of like we did at OLE. To make a fake like structure or whatever.
Just curtaining.
Curtaining.
You can use curtaining to kind of scale off the.
And
areas.
then someone fell back through the curtains.
Oh, that's like the what's it called? The Home Alone.
And then ripped it down, and then there was a bunch of teens back there changing between like I'm saying, like inappropriately young. They were like holding their covering their bra, what I mean? And it's like, oh my God, the most mortifying thing happened to these people, which is showing their audience them basically in their bra and underwear and stuff. And
I'd kill myself if that happened.
I'm like, that's gotta be horrible. What's the chance of that? Also, the Florida Trashy thing that I had was Cypress furniture, which
Cypress furniture.
I had a
coquina rock too. We had some of those.
A lot of coquina rock, but there is Samantha. You didn't have any driftwood furniture, because my dad,
you'd get a piece of wood and you'd balance it and you'd lay a piece of glass on top of it.
Yeah, see, my coffee table as a kid growing up was a piece of driftwood.
Was it a huge stump?
It was a big it was basically a table that they had glossed on the top, like
they urethaned it.
They cut
same technique used to hide Rusty Wallace's picture under the Hooters table.
So basically, you take a cypress tree, and then cypress trees are crazy. They're not round.
Naughty.
They're all weird shapes. You know what I'm saying? Some like they're long, and then the stumps are not perfectly round. They're weird shaped. And then you'd section them and then make coffee tables out of the weird shaped stumps.
Or clocks.
Clocks or whatever. And then
I used to see the guy selling clocks near our subdivision.
Basically at a coffee table that looked like a guitar shape, right? It was a cypress stump.
That's cool too.
Glued on, and then like a stump underneath. And then there was and then they glossed or urethane the top of it with a thick.
Thick.
And that I had that in the 80s.
A couple cigarette burns in it. It would yellow from the nicotine in my house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all the and then the saw with painting on it. In my mom's kitchen where she had a cow theme and farmer theme.
It was called Country Kitchen.
Country Kitchen.
Yeah, you always had that little wooden key holder that had 4 little tiny dowel rods that come out, and you hang it on the wall. It looks like trash. It looks like something your son or daughter would make at vacation Bible school. And my mom had that, and then she had this little wooden. It was like a wooden stick that you would use to pull the oven rack out with, but they would novelty paint it like a light blue, and then they'd draw like a cow on it.
Yeah. It's the collections, and we were talking about this a little bit.
We had the Italian waiter.
Oh yeah. You got that in your kitchen now?
Yeah, not now. No. I did in Deltona.
Okay, I thought you had apron of
Those
an Italian waiter.
We have antique aprons. But he's not Italian. He's like German or something.
Oh, okay.
I think he's German.
So anyway, the collecting things. Butler's got this room, this nerd room, and he's been putting it up on the BDM page. And he brought his spikes here. Have you looked at them closely?
Yeah, I have. They're a little, you get what you pay for.
You know what? I don't want to talk to Butler about it. I want to talk about who bought these things from Butler. We need to get them on the line, and I want to interview them about why they bought this garbage. Because honestly, it's not because here's
Christine's in the chat room.
Oh, okay, Christine, call in, please.
I mean, she could call in.
I know you.
Christine doesn't like you very much.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to get all the BDMs that hate me eventually.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna make fun of everything they do.
I mean, I'm not sure. Normally, you have an end to your madness. I'll just come follow you blindly.
Because it's not like you're getting some sort of prop that was used in a movie or made by some artist that was involved in Star Wars. You're buying this from Butler,
right?
Who basically got high and painted some sort of Chinese garbage that he bought, and then put it together, glued it with some hot glue, and
he hit up the local Hobby Lobby. He got a couple of bases that you would put like maybe you'd mount.
You want to get one?
Are you gonna pick it apart and make him real sad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Butler, come in here.
Okay. Oh God.
So
okay, he's got them both.
Okay, yeah. So it's on the Twitch camera. You can see, and I
they
see.
look pretty cool from here.
They're definitely like a bar girl.
You're miles away, Samantha, looking through a camera. Like I'm telling you, in person, it's look at he did a job. I guess it's called patining or a patina. What is it called?
Well, it's like a faux finish, right? He put
it's weathered.
Okay,
it's not patika or anything.
Patina.
Yeah, I've heard like a patina
I don't know.
before. Patina, weathered.
It looks like he just smeared some yellow.
They look like they have a
doo-doo.
Like a poo-poo helmet.
He just smeared some poo-poo, and then the spike. I could see.
I mean, that's what any crazy person would do. Once you're done rubbing shit all over your stormtrooper helmet, you put a spike through it. That's what crazy people do.
Have to cut that out. Then he put some black. Like it looks like.
What is it, Tom?
You cut some sort of.
It's what the ghost.
Darth Maul's cape. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Like a spirit Halloween Dracula cape.
Darth Vader's hanky.
Yeah. Like and then you rip that up and then you put that underneath the helmet, and then just put a base on that. All I'm saying is that when someone has this in their house, right?
Oh, you put it in your house?
I don't know. I don't know what you're doing with this.
God.
That's the problem with this whole thing, because I don't know what anybody's buying this for, and I know Butler is just
You put it in your kitchen next to your Vitamix.
He's just trying to stick it to me because he's made a bunch of them and he's selling them and he's throwing.
I've sold out of them actually.
He's throwing these wild numbers. And so now I'm not even mad at you, Butler, anymore, because I'm mad at the listeners who bought this, because you're just trying to scam some people and make some money. But the listeners,
support Red Coat Media.
They're wasting their money on this garbage.
This is exactly the type of attitude that Russ gave you and I when we started our podcast.
But he's not starting it. He'll be done with this. In fact, he's not going to complete all the orders.
So much to cut out today.
And you're going to put this next to you what? Where? And then when people walk by, like guests or whatever, and they're like, oh, where'd you get this? Are you going to say like, I got this from this guy that...
the only problem that I don't really... Okay, the only problem that I would have with it, if it were something I would be into, I would have wanted it full size. Other than that, I think they're pretty cool, but
I can sell you a full size one, but it's gonna be $1,000.
Yeah, see, but I'm not into because then I would go to Tom and be like, well, what is it doing for me for $1,000?
Because I understand if there's some artists I'm not a complete moron, and I understand that there's like Daniel has got some art in his house that some local artists have commissioned for him or he's bought from them.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff.
And then
exactly what these are.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, even that one's hard for me to go with. And I'm trying to be supportive.
Because you will have to ask an artist, but I'm sure an artist builds their, portfolio or reputation over an amount of time, which makes their art valuable or credible or whatever. It's like, oh, this.
Well, they're known for
We
their
all got
art,
to start somewhere, sir.
right? They're known for their art, right?
Also, it implies, now I understand getting in early, maybe an up-and-coming artist, you buy their pieces early because you're like, I'm going to bet that this guy is going to become famous later or a bigger name, and then I'm going to have their early piece. Right. Is that the reason? Are these people that bought this believe that Butler's going to be this big... Like Star Wars? No, they don't. There's no way they do.
I think they're doing it because they want to support him and they like him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's charity.
I didn't say that, but I do
That's
think,
what charity is.
I do think that there's a love for Star Wars that he shares with them. So then they're like, oh, he makes these things that I don't make. I could, but I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can buy it from him, and
they're looking for Star Wars decoration for their room.
That's replicas. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything like this. I have had things like this in the past. And I did buy.
I bet you $100 each. Neither one of you could make this in 2 days.
Oh, you don't want to go there with me. No, you don't. Oh, you brought
Daniel. You can bring me in, and Daniel will prove you wrong.
No, I will.
And he'll come in.
Not only will I prove you wrong, I will be. I can do anything that you can do 1,000,000 times better than you can do it. I am the Donald Trump of this company. I can do it. No, you don't want to. You don't want to do that.
So you're declining the bet.
No, I'll take the bet.
Okay,
but I'll do it on my terms. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna start today. Why would I start today?
We got 2 days.
Okay, when I get my stuff, I'll go for 2 days from then. I'm not gonna go try and find things like you said. You can't find them on eBay.
Butler, I don't mean to. I can tell Butler's getting mad because we're making fun of his art.
No, he's not. I don't think he's getting mad. I just think he doesn't understand why you don't understand why these things are selling. I'm trying to explain it that there are like-minded people trying to do this.
What did Christine say? I need to talk to someone who bought it, and then they can tell me because Butler.
Norm got one.
Well, Norm doesn't count because he wanted my garbage paint.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Let me go to Christine.
Because is it okay? You're a huge fan of Star Wars. They don't make anything like this. Obviously, you could buy the helmet. I guess they don't make the spike helmet. Like retail or something. It's like you can't just, or can you just go and buy something like this? Or
I'm sure you can.
Is it like because it's rare? And then, so you're a fan of Star Wars. I understand that. And then you want some Star Wars decorations. And then Butler's making these spikes. And then you're like, perfect. $100 decorate.
There you go. You're never going to understand it. Because because you're not even a decoration guy, right? You're a decoration guy. So like you would buy things like, in fact, you probably have named something that you bought purely for decoration. Is Gogru or Grugo? What's it? Gogru. Grogu. Is he a decoration?
He'll be a feature in my office.
That's a perfect perfect example.
Feature.
You've got a nerd. Now, it makes more sense for Butler to buy these things than maybe Christine.
Let's see if this is Christine.
Yes, it is.
All right. Now you can ask her.
All right, perfect.
Now I don't have to try and explain something I fully don't understand because I was trying.
So, first, how's the baby?
She is fantastic.
All right,
so sweet.
You got home with her and everything?
Oh yeah, she's been home for the last 3 weeks, so we are good.
Does he every 2 hours the whole thing? Man, newborns it's rough.
Hard.
Oh yeah, I haven't slept in weeks, guys. This is painful.
So Christine, you bought one of Butler's spikes, and
I did.
And
the chat room automatically, because you asked Christine about the baby and how she's doing first, people are like, he's trying to be human in the chat room. So I'm just going to go ahead and award this to Butler. He wins because at the very least, he's human. And they can relate to him because of his flesh-like ways. I feel like he wins.
It's a form of manipulation, too, because I'm getting Christine on my side of the argument of swaying it.
Are you?
Yeah, because I'm asking.
I don't know.
I'm asking her about her baby, and she's like, "Oh, this is nice." You know, there's niceties,
Okay,
and then you're more.
Yeah, but she's hearing all of this part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Christine, now do you have a Star Wars themed room in your house or some sort of office space that you've decorated with a bunch of Star Wars stuff that you pride yourself in? And when people come over, you're like, this is my Star Wars room. Butler's got it. He's filled it full of all these toys and whatnot. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, I have my art studio is a library, so that's where I have all of my taxidermy. I have like Harry Potter memorabilia. I've got Star Wars stuff. I've got tons of local artists' paintings and prints. So yeah, I've got a whole section of the house.
I have figured out the problem.
It's a crazy person's garbage room.
Well, that's what people that don't have anything in their life at all that they can look at that evokes an emotion or a memory.
I'm joking.
No, I'm starting to think. I think I know the problem now. I think I'm starting to see it.
Now, Christine,
have you ever lived by yourself?
Never. No. Yeah. There's a messed up.
But Tom doesn't even know who he is.
No, that's what I mean. I would just, if Tom lived alone, I bet you if you walked in, it would literally just be a room, not two rooms, just a room with a toilet and like everything, no pictures, nothing. Yeah. There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
And Cypress furniture.
If I just woke, if you just kidnapped me and then drugged me and I woke up in Russia, I'd be like, oh, I guess I'm here now. I'll just start digging.
Back to normal.
I don't know. I'll just
Mr. Adapt.
Adapt
is it good? Is it bad? Yeah,
whatever it is. So, Christine, so you have a room that's filled with different artist stuff and like other art and sculptures and stuff.
Now let's handle the big question that Butler asked and that you probably really offended him. Would you consider this art, Christine?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go.
Now, Christine, does it matter, like, the other art you have in your room that's a real art. Is it by, like, accomplished artists and people that do this for a living or amateur? Is it all
Are you saying, like, on my iPod or on my iPhone, I have rap songs from Eric B. and Rakim, and I also have some ICP on there?
Okay, yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
No, because the ICP is still they're multimillionaires. They've successful with their, what I'm saying.
But I don't think anybody claims they're good rappers.
No, but they've made a living doing it.
Okay,
see what I'm saying?
enough.
This is where I'm kind of like, I guess, questioning if Butler's an accomplished enough.
So you don't feel like he's made enough spikes to,
or just
what would be good enough? If he sold 50 spikes, would that be good enough?
I don't know. I don't think like.
How many spikes does he have to sell?
I think
he's got 10 he sold.
Here's my problem. Butler made one spike, and then I made fun of it, and then to spite me, he's selling 10 spikes.
Oh yeah.
There was no plan.
Spikes. Oh, it's Spike's crazy.
I feel like he's doing this for spite.
He started Spike's Hard Lemonade.
These are spite spikes. Butler.
Spite spikes.
That's why I'm mad at it because he doesn't want to be an artist. He doesn't want to do nothing.
You're mad at him because he's successful.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yes.
Sam, do you see how I was able to open this onion until we got to the center? But it's still green.
It's not even success because
it is when he's selling it.
He's doing it just to spite me from the beginning.
He never wanted the success. He's only doing it because it's ruining my mind.
He's only doing it to spite me. And he's making these spikes. I think he doesn't get any enjoyment out of it. I think the amount of time.
This is my favorite segment we've ever done.
The amount of time.
I love this is my favorite.
Yeah, like he's made and then Christine.
I think we got to the
and I think they're all the listeners.
Christine, I love you.
Christine, she's just buying it just because she said it on the chat room.
Well, she's on the line. You can ask her.
And then she's crazy because her pregnancy.
Her hormones are crazy.
Like when you buy this, you were giving birth, so you're delusional, and you're just like, I'll buy it. Anything.
Duress, under duress.
You're under duress. It's like the kid on the Memphis 3 or whatever.
It's exactly like the kid Memphis 3.
Yeah. Butler.
Dude, this is my favorite segment. I am cry laughing.
He's admitting
this is
stuff.
just like the kid Memphis 3. Oh.
And you just bought this because you're like, I'll buy one. I feel bad because Tom is bullying him, and he's saying that I'll buy it just to spite Tom. And then you bought this. You didn't even want it. You're going to put it and then it kind of degrades your other art because this art is something that's not even made by someone who's a professional artist or has any sort of accreditation. So it's like it kind of devalues your other stuff. And then
so is that's all accurate, right?
yeah.
Well, I have. How many paintings of mine do you guys have in the studio? Like 3 or 4?
Yeah, but you're
we took
an
them all.
accomplished
Butler took
artist.
them all out, and he replaced them with spikes. There's spikes everywhere in here.
Yeah, but Christine,
no, I'm kidding. No, we have. I think we have 3, and I have like 3 in my home.
And that's okay, Christine. That's the difference between like when I look at pig teas every day, and
well, hold on, that is a painting we have. You're gonna make people that might be turning on for the one. That's why people don't just flip through the channels, because if they flip through and heard that, they rip their radio out and throw it out their sunroof.
No one listen on the radio. There's. Christine actually made us a piece of art that's been hanging in the second studio for years, and every single comedian and guest would make
it's a prized possession of ours.
It was basically above Daniel's computer, so they'd stare at it, and it's basically a pig.
It's a
human pig with teeth.
It's a human with a pig mask on with her boobs out.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot what
Better
it was. Don't look at it
every day.
over here.
I don't pay attention to anything.
It's Rodney Dangerfield wearing moose ears.
I forgot what it was. I thought
it was a painting of George Washington.
It was something. I don't look at any of this stuff. It just hangs in there.
It's a painting of Calvin peeing on a number 3.
I don't have time to look at these listeners' drawings. Anyway, but that is something that looks like it takes some talent and art and
shots fired. And this doesn't look.
No, okay, hold on.
And the bet still stands. He'll give us 2 days.
Are you saying that the pig tea painting is the same or even on the same spectrum as this?
Oh, are you asking me?
The spike with that you put some dirt underneath the eyes of the stormtrooper. If you made this out of clay, the whole thing.
Okay, then that's a different story.
You bought a white miniature stormtrooper helmet off of eBay, right? Okay. Then you had a wooden spike, you stuck it through, and then you dirtied it up, and you put some black rag underneath it.
Yeah. Now we're getting the real story.
But what else is it? Is someone gonna? What is it?
Vito.
Christine, what do you see in it? You're the one who bought it. Do you see how good of an art job this guy did? I mean, what you tell me?
It's a job.
I honestly collect things that make me happy. That's it. So I can have a piece that makes me happy, and in my library.
That was the worst thing.
I mean,
how does it make you happy?
If you had a gun,
how does it make you happy and me so mad?
If there was a
everything makes you mad, Tom.
No, it didn't used to.
Not everything.
It didn't used to.
He's a grumpy old man.
If you were loading your gun with worst answer you could have given bullets, that was the one. And you just blew his head off.
Like when you finally get this, and how are you going to get this, by the way? Is it Butler shipping it to you?
No, he's delivering them.
I'm coming by this week.
Oh, you're coming by. Okay.
And he's delivering a few, and then they're using. He's paying me to store them here.
So when you get it, you're putting it in your office.
Good deal too. He's paying well.
And when you walk by and you see it, it's actually going to bring the feeling
Spikehead. I'm going to have a great Monday now.
How is it going to make you happy? How, Christina? It makes.
I'll think of hashtag Team Butler from now on.
No.
Now it's to fight you. Now I'm just gonna get so much joy of how angry you are. I hope you sell 10 more spite.
Spite happiness.
Now, what is the name of your Star Wars prop company, Butler? Do you have one yet?
Redcoat Media.
Oh, it is a Redcoat Media joint.
By the way, I've never wrote one check to that. 3 years in the making. What? By the way, you know it's Butler's 3-year annivear last week or something?
Today?
Oh.
Today?
3 years!
Oh, my God. I wondered why you were being extra mean to him. Like, something must be going on. It must be an anniversary. Tom only does this when he's really, really mad about bad decisions.
I know
what he'll do.
Oh, man!
I remember how he took it out on his 2-year. Oh, I can't wait for the 3-year and 4-year-old. Man, that's going to be bad.
Yeah. Now, I understand that, Christina, if you walk by it every day and you know that it made me so angry and that brings you happiness, I can get behind that.
Well, if I could also
I'm gonna put it with a bunch of succulents, too.
I could also see if you were an actual Mandalorian, if you walked by it, you'd be like, yeah, still hate him. This is the way. You know, like I can see you doing that. But since none of that stuff actually exists, it's kind of like a jumbo cake topper to Tom. I feel like this is like what you put on a kid's birthday cake, right? Just a much bigger version.
All right, Christine. I appreciate you calling in. And take care of that baby and try to get some sleep.
Good job, John Wayne.
I don't know what you
Take care of that baby.
I'm trying to be human again. I don't know what.
Put some Vaseline on your nipples. Keep them from cracking and bleeding.
I practiced the human intro, not the outro. I knew to ask about the baby, but I didn't know how to
take care of that baby.
I don't know.
Slap one of those things in your chest and its mouth. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah. You are a weird person.
See, I think this is weirder than I am, but apparently I am not on the same page as the others.
Have you ever had because any hobby that you have normally isn't just like you've never had a hobby like this, like a cartoon hobby?
No.
Because I have. So I know what it's like to sit down and build like a Lego set and that's all you're doing, or create, like what Butler's doing. It's I think to you and Butler, you answer, like, I think it's a little bit art, but I also think you get something out of this because it's the community you run in, right? Like, that's your thing.
That, I kind of take it as a little bit of a meditation, if you will. Like, so I just sit there and it's a way I can just kind of calm myself down, if you will. There's a bunch of, it's almost like therapy when I'm painting these.
All right. Listen, I'm not totally crazy. I understand about, like, it goes back to the damn, what's the Nintendo game that I made fun of for a baby game?
Minecraft.
No, well, not Minecraft. The one you guys played.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. So when I finally figured it out that it was just a de-stressor, like it was a way to escape and anxiety and like just literally mindless nothing, so that you don't have to look at how horrible everything is, or de-stress. That made sense, and then I moved on in my mind. I was like, okay, it's not about the actual game, it's about the fact that it's nothing, and there's nothing stressful about it, and it's just literally wasting time so that your brain can de-stress, right? And then I was like, okay. And so that's why with these spikes, I'm mad because Butler's telling me that this was, I really believe that it started with no reason. And it started like, I'm going to make this spike. And then when people were like, I'll buy one, then Butler's like, oh, I'm selling them. And then now it's gotten to this point where he's selling it. But I don't think this was the plan. It wasn't the plan to be artists.
Actually, without you belittling his plan.
Yeah.
There would be no 10 helmet line.
I'm giving myself all of the credit.
It
all comes down to me finding a way to give myself credit.
It was your tough love.
Yeah.
And original. This is almost like, what's that movie where the drummer was sideways? Or no, what's that movie? Yeah, what's it called? The drumming movie.
Yeah.
Where they
old man yells at the kid.
Mean as hell.
A mean old drummer.
I don't know.
Yeah, the mean as hell drumming old man movie. This is that. You're staying on him.
Yeah. It's like
so
Tiger
Butler
Woods' dad
lives up to his full potential of making baby toys.
Yeah. Because and then when this,
Whiplash
turns into a career of him making these things, I will then step in just like Tiger Woods' dad.
Where's my commission check?
Yeah, exactly.
It's in your wallet, sir. It's right behind you.
Credit.
You should get a little money right now. I mean, aren't you talking about these on your airwaves?
Yeah. But
how are listeners finding out about these? I mean, you own that group, right? The BDM nerd group. That's your group. You own all of that. You could be taking a percentage of this if you were like me. Didn't let these things fall through your fingers.
I put $1 in your cup over there.
I run a very tight ship.
All right. Let's bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
Tom.
Hey, the poo-poo flies are back. Is that the fish tank?
I don't know. I We didn't take the trash out last Friday, and then
that's because Sam wasn't here.
I had my.
Well, she was here. Sam, I'm gonna need you to stay on Zoom until we're gone from the studio, so you can yell at us via Zoom.
Okay.
Okay.
I left my half-pound of oysters that I was eating on Friday.
I left those strawberries from Hollowbox, and that was like 4 weeks ago.
I was going to take them home, and you're like, I'll take them to Maisie. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I knew you were going to take them. You never bring anything home.
No.
I brought my chili. Daniel left it in there.
I left it in there.
He says he wants me to be a normal human and bring him gifts.
Oh, it's my fault now?
And then when I do bring him gifts.
Blaming.
My God, you bring up
I love victim blaming. Most of the time, it's your fault. Not all the time, just most of the time.
Let's do some voicemail messages.
Why were you walking there? Why don't you have a gun? I mean, you knew what you were getting into.
Let's try this one.
So I was listening to the Friday Free Show, and you guys were talking about there not being large panhandlers. But over here in Brevard County, there is a rather large woman that stands over, I believe it's Ellis and Wickham, whatever. But she stands over there with her sign. She's huge, and she does I shouldn't say that. I'm going to get in trouble for the... Whatever, she's jumbo. Is that what you guys said? She's jumbo, and she does the thing. I'm sure you guys have seen this. The panhandlers, which is the women, they do the constant like crying, like they can't take it anymore, and they're walking with the sign and they're shaking the sign, and she's got the fake. I don't know if it's fake or what, but tears going.
My God, you're a real D-head. My God, man.
Now I said,
jeez, Louise,
it's got to be fake because as soon as somebody hands her $1 and she turns around, she's like, sticks it in her pocket and moves, but. Yeah, she's jumbo. So,
I said you don't see any male big panhandlers, and because I said the female can get away with it using the pregnancy.
He was oddly that specific, sir. He did say that.
Yeah, because I feel like there could be big female panhandlers because they can go the pregnant route or something. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And but big male panhandlers, I don't think would get enough money. Because people would be like, oh, you're not hungry. I'm not going to get you. I'm not going to give you $1 because you look big. You know what I'm saying? Like the psychology behind that.
This just in from our Twitch chat room. They're saying that Dustin Diamond has now passed away.
Really?
Wow.
I don't know if that's so shocked.
I don't know if that's true. I guess.
Well, because usually
Sam can look that up.
He had like stage 4 cancer.
My God.
No, I know, but fat. I mean, usually even like you start feeling pain, and then they tell you you're like have a stage 4 or something. They give you like, in my experience, I've seen from what I've seen. It's usually like they give you a shorter estimate. That way, if you outlive it, there's something gives you hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it seems like someone.
God, he's my age too.
Someone gives you like 2 months to live, and you always hear that. Like the doctor gave me 2 months, and then now it's 3 years later or whatever. And then because you use the chemo, you start fighting it, and that extends it, right?
Yeah, we had that guy in here too.
And so
I think they caught it too late.
They caught it when he already had like a tumor in his neck and he already is feeling pain, and that's usually bad when it's already spread. Mm-hmm. But usually they do aggressive chemo, and that will extend because this was less than a month ago. That's what I'm saying.
It was less than a month ago.
I'm
really sad.
I'm not surprised he passed away given the seriousness of the stage 4 cancer. I'm surprised it happened so soon, right? Like it would have been.
Who knows what they were revealing though? Like a lot of times maybe the person even knows and just chooses to go their own route.
Or like not fight it.
Not even fight it or not even talk about it. Maybe you don't.
He's been in the hospital he has been at least recently fighting it, but
yeah.
Well, it was just 3 weeks ago. Tracy's saying.
Yeah, 3 weeks is fast from diagnosis to death. But sometimes that happens, man. That's crazy. I feel bad for him. To us, he was a nice guy.
Do you feel bad for him? Wasn't he not a great guy? Didn't he stab somebody on Christmas?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why.
I try not to weigh things like that anymore.
Yeah.
Like when somebody has something that bad happened to him, I just go, oh, it was bad. Then I try not to go back and be like, well.
Yeah, you start analyzing it like he stabbed someone.
He was a massive turd.
I guess no, but you're right. If a horrible person dies, usually
that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know him being a horrible person.
All I know, Corky made a porno.
All I know is our experience with him, and he was a nice guy.
Nice enough guy, yeah.
God,
very difficult for me to not say that his life was brought to a screeching halt. Got that out. We're good.
Yeah, that's the 90s. We had to do that. It's contractual.
It is contractual.
That we have to.
Well, but I didn't play it up. I deadpanned it because I'm not gonna let the big guys run this show.
Yeah,
we run this show.
That's where it goes to show you have to just do the things that make you happy. Because
write that down, Sam.
Right. Mail that to the studio so I can put on a shirt.
Remember, guys, don't be like Screech guys. Do the things that make you happy.
Yeah, I guess he did that. So
did he?
I don't know.
Now we got confirmation that the movie he was in, his porno, that was a stunt actor, correct?
Yeah, I think we talked to him.
He even admitted that. Yeah.
Yeah, he did it. It was kind of like the beginning of trolling on the internet. Like you do fake. He realized that this would spread around if he.
Plus, he was probably taking a page out of the old Kim Kardashian book. A sex tapes out there. Maybe it puts you in the limelight.
Oh yeah, for
sure. Remember when
he made a lot of money with his Save My House.
Yeah, the Save My House thing was one of the first times that I remember somebody using the internet for something like that.
That was before
I considered like a big celebrity fall from grace.
That was before GoFundMe or anything. That was he may have been one of the first people to really crowdsource or use his fans.
I think he was
to raise money directly because I think. Enough people bought those shirts that he made like $50,000.
We tried to buy one. Do you remember?
Yeah.
We tried to buy one, and then they were all sold out.
It was the beginning of, hey, I'm going to directly market whatever to my fan base, which was huge because Saved by the Bell was so gigantic. It's a shame he realized it so late. And a lot of these guys, you realize you're this icon for a generation, but you're making no money off it. And then finally you're like, well, what if I just put these shirts for sale, like Save Screech's house, and then all of a sudden you make $80,000 or whatever it is, and you're like, oh,
my God,
why have I not been doing this the whole time?
And I could have been doing it not in such a maybe trashy or desperate way. I could have actually because I don't know, maybe he had a band or let's say
Cameo. He could have. I mean, if Cameo existed,
Camo is the more that's the right wing one.
Or any of the the cons, the nerd cons, he could have.
Oh, he could have cleaned up there if he did art or music or anything,
Yeah, the cons were happening. I don't know why.
I'm telling you, I don't think he was liked very much within the community.
Yeah. He got a certain reputation.
I think he was a D-head. I do.
Right, and so I think maybe he lost a lot of opportunities because of that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Well, it's sad when anybody passes away that young.
44, my age.
Yeah, especially and some with cancer like that aggressive. That's got to be super rare.
If you're gonna take somebody, you take Lisa Turtle, right?
No, come on, come on,
right? Come on.
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. Rank the show members from highest to lowest carbon footprint. I'm assuming Tom has the highest carbon footprint and Dan has the lowest. Travis is kind of a wild card, and Samantha, she drove the shit truck for a long time, but that's sort of Tom's fault, so I don't know.
Yeah, I put that down as Tom's fault. I would say Butler's probably on the lowest just because of his wife, right?
Yeah, his wife is super environmentally friendly.
And then you might be second because of your wife.
Well, yeah, because
too many vehicles.
Daniel has the highest. Daniel, I saw him punt a chimney and straight iron. Daniel will throw away anything.
I will.
And then
but I have
waste
small,
as much
efficient vehicles. Tom is the China. This guy owns a boat he doesn't even use.
Well, that's not no carbon footprint there.
It's the other guys that are using it on the river every weekend when you're not.
You're right. Daniel's not. He doesn't drive that much.
No, I do have a big vehicle. Let's see. I am the most wasteful when it comes to throwing things away. And I buy a lot of Chinese new tech and use it one time and then
pump it in the garbage.
Well, no, I save it.
Oh yeah,
but it's Chinese garbage.
Well, until it's time to clean out.
I don't know, man. I think you definitely got me at the house department because you guys are more frugal with your water.
He's got a Trump truck. He's got a boat.
Yeah, but he doesn't use the boat that much.
And the truck.
4-wheelers.
The truck's only 7 miles a day. That's not that much, or like 14 miles a day. That's not a lot.
But I guess
your wife drives a lot, but she doesn't count.
She's a big SUV.
Butler drives the most.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The distance-wise. And then all this eventual spikes are going to get punted in the trash.
Oh, and all the paint, the aerosol paint he's wasting. Yes.
Once the listeners realize that I was right and this is garbage, they'll punt that. That'll add to landfill.
You're using this segment to bully him again. That's great. I like that. I approve.
Yeah. So that all the stuff he's making and all the toys.
He's buying a bunch of plastic garbage from China, more plastic into the States.
Yeah.
He's using the paints that are, all degrading the ozone layer.
Like Butler's going to be 50 soon, and when he's 50,
oh my god!
And I mean, soon and relative, it's like what has he got? 9 years? How old is he? 41, 42, something like that. And
I don't know. He did that "How young are you?" challenge this morning, and it said 50.
Ooh. Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. I got 20, but it's just.
I feel like
a kid
on his 50th birthday, and his wife's gonna have like multiple practices. You're mega rich and stuff, and then she's gonna put her foot down and make him throw all the Star Wars stuff in the garbage, or at least move it to a storage facility.
Yeah.
And then it'll sit there, and then when he's like 58, then they'll finally dump it right.
I've never seen an old man that has toys. Find me an old man with toys. That's Santa Claus.
They do it.
I'm an idiot. I'll look, but I can't think of one. You say you can't find a fat old man, and we found one. And we busted. We found one, but it's Shart and Randy's dad, right?
Yeah, the old man that has toys, that goes into the models. I think old men have models.
No, I want an old Star Wars man. I want he can barely walk around his collection.
I'm sure. Okay, think in the 70s, if you were super into Star Wars at 48,
there were butlers
50.
in this. In 1982, there was a 70-year-old butler that loved Star Wars.
And then now, if you're if you were 40 or 50 back then, you're 80.
Oh, you're almost dead.
And maybe that
Boba Fett, it's a trap.
You're right. Or do you get to a certain point and then
you grow out of it? You embarrass yourself.
Your old real men mentality doesn't let you these things.
Well, it's hard to check the conservative box when you're voting when all of your buddies know that you wear Yoda overalls.
You get mad at. I imagine the more you're grumpier and you're more angry at everything around you, and then you
you.
Well, the Star Wars doesn't work anymore. It doesn't calm you down.
No,
making spikes doesn't work anymore.
What makes you mad looking at it? Because it reminds you of your youth too. That's another thing.
I'm sitting here making more spikes. Nobody's ever made a spike for me.
Play another voicemail.
All right. How about? Let me get rid of that guy. Let's try this one right here.
Hey there, guys. This is David calling in from beautiful DeLand, Florida, on a cool Saturday evening. Listen to an ACT, I believe, and you're talking about being with your wife when she's giving birth and looking at it.
That's one of the many looking at it ones we did. Here's one on court siding. Do you know what that is?
Hey, guys. Bubble Bath Billy here. I was wondering if Tom has heard of this gambling scam called court siding. And I apologize in advance if this is a little bit long-winded, but I found it interesting. I think you guys will appreciate it. So I saw a short documentary on YouTube about it if Tom gets interested and wants to look it up. But I guess the sport where it's most easily exploitable is tennis. And it involves taking advantage of the live sports betting. So, you're not betting on the result of the full match or game, but you're actually betting on every individual play or point, I guess, in tennis. And so what you do is you have a team of 2 people, and one person just flies all around the world going to tennis tournaments, and they sit courtside, which is where the scam gets its name. Then the other person is back home logged onto the gambling website on their computer, and what you do is basically before every point is played out, you pre-enter your wager amount, and then you just guess whoever you think is going to win the next point. So just a pure guess. If Serena Williams is playing, she's good. You might just guess that she's going to win every single point. So you get that bet set up. And then the person who's at the match, you guys are talking via Bluetooth headset. And as soon as the point is played out.
Is this where you're going, man? Is this where you're headed?
Oh.
This type of gambling?
I like this.
Shall I let him continue?
I see what he's saying. So basically,
I saved this one for you, buddy.
Yeah. So there's a new element, and really, it's the new edge in gambling because every other edge has really been kind of grinded out of the system. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people, and there's so many people that are good at it that you're not there. There used to be like professional gamblers that would find loopholes in the system, or certain casinos would put up numbers that were off, and they did a lot with props and stuff. And so these guys would find these things and bet them the max amount to basically take advantage of them not looking at it very these obscure things. They'd find a way to give themselves a better than 50-50, which is the way to do it. And live betting now is become super popular, and there's still ways to actually get a better edge live betting. In fact, I did this the other day, or not the other day, when the Steelers played the Browns and they got killed. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, there was one point in the game where it was like 28-0 or something, and it's all done by a computer program.
Yeah.
So it's they take the people out of it, and they have some algorithm that runs it.
Probability at that point.
And then so as the team scores, it'll adjust. It'll be like so every
percentage of winnings.
Yeah, that you could bet on throughout the whole game, basically up until maybe 5 minutes or something, maybe the last quarter or something. They stop. They gray it out. You can't do it anymore. But at one point in time, the Steelers were a plus 21.5, right? And so I bet at plus 21.5 because I realized the computer algorithm, they were losing by so much that it went up to 21.5, but I knew that the Browns would slow down and the Steelers, they'll start playing prevent defense.
Chase the game,
And the computer algorithm not knowing that because it's not advanced enough, and so I got 21.5, which is absurd, and then of course, they only lost by 11 or 15 or whatever the hell it was, but that was I had the best of it there. And so this guy's talking about how the people are cheating basically by because there's a small lag in time, and if you can get a bet in and know the future basically, because there's obviously the broadcast is a little bit behind, and then it takes a while to get to the people that are watching it. So that 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 15, I don't know how long it is, they'll be like, Serena won, and then he'll bet Serena right there, and then get it in right before they cut it off because
it's just cheating, right?
Yeah, but I like it because you're cheating like giant casinos and these books, and most of the time they're winning they're taking all these people's money because everybody eventually loses. Then no one knows how to gamble properly, even me. So I like that they're taking advantage of the system. Although for sure that this guy, now he knows about it, it'll be
they'll
stop
do
it.
something to adjust it,
and you know what they do,
or the computers will just get more sophisticated and better at what they do.
These companies, like all the bookmakers, they're screwing the people too. They pay a lot of money for they get the TV broadcast license or ability to get that in. So basically, they pay a bunch of money to get the actual live feed, the real live feed that the TV stations get.
Yeah.
So that they're a couple seconds ahead of the normal Joe that's gambling on their Bovada app,
That's
right?
interesting.
So
you would have to be there to be on their level.
Yes. Yeah. Now they're not getting exactly live, but they're getting the TV live, and we're getting the consumer live, which is seconds behind that one.
Why you'd want to be courtside.
So they're taking advantage of the fact that they know stuff before we know it. We're watching on TV, so they are cheating too. Kind of
anything that's this complicated always is always unattractive to me. I like
too much.
Yeah, it's too much. If you and I were going to I'm okay with if you said, hey, we're gonna do a scam, I'd be like, all right. If you were like, here's our Bluetooth headsets, I'd be like, I'm out. You know, like if anything that we got to have headsets in, I'm just like, I'm not doing that.
That's how I was going to cheat on my SATs when I was trying to figure out how to do it. My first idea was to get some sort of mini walkie-talkie or like way, because this was
like what the beaver used for a first date. You know, and he's like, tell her she has great eyes.
yeah, because this was 1999, so cell phone technology, they didn't have it.
Yeah.
So I was gonna figure out some sort of mini walkie-talkie that I whisper read the questions, and then my buddy the wizard was sitting in my truck and was gonna tell me the answer. And then I realized it was a lot easier just getting him a fake ID and having him do it.
Yeah,
right?
just cut to the source, right?
But anyway,
let's. We got time for one more. Let's do this one.
Hey, Tom and Dan. You guys were wondering about what like the base pay for managers is for a lot of these like one-off chains. Well, I can tell you what like my base pay was for all the different levels of management I've ever done.
That's this is Mike B, by the way. And it sounds as if he's about to burst into tears. But I want to hug him. My God, man. Yeah. Is this what it sounds like when you order an apple pie and a coffee at Burger King? My God, man.
Why is this that, Mike?
Yeah, jeez Louise. You're shaking.
I know that as a third manager, I made like 32 to 34. I know that as an AGM, I made somewhere between 34 and 37, and the most I ever made as a general manager of a taco restaurant was 45.
I wanted him to be like $193,000.
That was in a year. So I hope this helps. All right, guys, love you. Say it, Tom. Say it back. Say that you love me. You know you love Mike B. Just say it.
He's not going to say it, Mike.
I like Mike proposing. He's like, you guys ever wonder how much someone...
A genius makes?
The restaurant manager? Well, I'm about to tell you. Like, no S, Mike.
Yeah.
I knew, I figured you were going to tell me.
Hey, guys. I'm hanging out.
That's got to be, Samantha,
It's a decent amount of dough.
Well, I was about to say the worst job for the amount paid being a restaurant manager. Now, I'm not suited for it because
I think I could do the Tijuana Flats.
But
all I got to do is remind a couple of girls who have tattoos on their thighs to get the beans out. I think I could do that.
Yeah, but could you imagine? I got some buddies that are restaurant managers, and he's like, the employees are like all F-ups. Like,
yeah, of course.
They all,
including me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be back there doing drugs. Are you crazy?
Yeah. I talked to my buddy. He's like, everybody's a mess.
Yeah,
Everybody's bad at life,
including me.
Everybody's on coke.
This is not the job I would do if I wanted to keep my family together.
Yeah. So
I'm working late nights. I'm cheating on my wife.
He tells me he's like, most of his employees he's fired multiple times, and then
bring them back.
And then you bring them back.
But that's radio too, just for the record.
No, I know. It's and then for the pay and to manage the employees and deal with the customers at a restaurant seems like the worst possible job for the pay, right? As a manager.
Yeah, man, I see. Customers have gotten worse too.
Your customers are horrible. Your employees are horrible. Like, it's a horrible job.
I'm a good customer, and I see other people that are customers, and man, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Oh yeah,
the things that people complain about. It's like the same things that people complain about, like on Yelp reviews.
Yeah,
you know, it's weird. Like the things they complain about they don't even enter what you're supposed to complain about for a restaurant. It's crazy.
This burrito tastes funny. We're like, oh, what does that even mean?
Yeah, it's meaningless.
I want it back. Like my money back.
The color of the beans was a shade browner than I'm used to. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then if it takes 2 minutes longer than you expected, you're bitching and complaining, and then you're doing it just so that in hopes that you'll get a comped meal or a free taco the next, because you're just playing the system.
My God, man.
Yeah, and then so you're dealing with that, and then your own employees and bad hours. That's another thing too. My Pudge got out of the restaurant managing business because he told me, he's like, it's impossible to live a normal life. I'm done at 2.
He had the name for it too.
He's like, by the time the place closes and we do all our cleaning, it's 2 a.m, and then we all want to go out and have a drink after, and then I get home by 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then
after banging out a waitress, you're cheating on your wife.
And then I have to, I wake up at 3 in the afternoon, go back to work. He's like, it becomes a cycle of a horrible. So and now he's an elevator mechanic. He's like a union job.
Does
9 to 5.
Look, I see him fishing with his kid all the time. Yeah, it looks like he's a happy boy, Pudge.
That's a young man or woman's game, being in the restaurant business. I see people that have done it like lifers, and I'm like, man, that's got to be. You got to be built for it.
I have a special spot in my heart, maybe because it was when I was dating the most. But I have a special place in my heart for the black polyester server pants.
Oh, okay.
I'm a fan.
They stink like B.O.
Yeah, or smoke, Because
Yeah.
most of the girls I was dating at the time would work those restaurant jobs, and they would smoke during their break. You slip out and you have a cigarette on your break. Most of the girls, I just have it like the I like those.
All your shoes.
You pair that with some, like some Victoria's Secret second skin satin thong, and you've got my 90s.
You got to learn how to work with greasy shoes.
Greasy shoes, yes.
Everybody works in a restaurant industry has greasy shoes,
yes,
because you're just walking and exposed to grease all day, every day.
All the grease.
And it absorbs into your big white Reeboks.
Jumbos.
And then,
huge.
They and it's impossible. You have to put you cannot air them out. They're grease shoes, and they're wet. Like you can't
Always
get the wet.
wet. They never dry. Yeah, perpetually wet.
You can't get the wet out of your grease shoes, and
that's what my grandpa said.
It just, guys.
I'm surprised that there are certain restaurants that make certain foods. You ever think of a restaurant, let's say like a wing restaurant that serves chicken wings?
Yeah.
All they're doing all day from sun up to sundown are frying thousands of chicken wings.
Yeah.
There are because you've cooked bacon, before. I know you live in a vegetarian household, but you still use grease, you still use oil. If I fry anything in my house, even if I'm just sauteing anything, grease goes everywhere. Where is that grease from the wings? Is it just you can't ever every time they use their phone you have a smudge on it, right? There's not
completely grease.
It's grease all the time.
Yeah.
Your hair's greasy.
Sometimes I think of that and I go because let's say the restaurant's not going to be a restaurant anymore. For that kitchen, you got to bang that thing apart, right, and replace it.
Oh, you burn it down.
Because it's all you got to burn it down.
It's filled with the
all the grease.
Yeah. Just impossible because the amount. It's getting in the air. It's in the ducts.
Shots fired by Tactical Hat.
What?
He said it would take Buffalo Wild Wings at least, what did he say? At least 25 years to cook 1,000 wings. I love it when he complains about trash food.
Because what he was saying they're slow.
I guess I don't know. I never thought they were.
But they go through 1,000 wings a weekend.
Oh a weekend, dude. Probably go through that a day, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Because
it's gotta be. You only get at 10 a time.
What do you like? I want the crepes. What do you else?
My wife does that.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'll go to a wing place. It's like Billy's Wings, and she'll sit down. She'll say, "How are your Amish pretzels?" I'm like, "They're garbage.
They're
garbage.
Wings.
It's Billy's Wings.
Yeah, all they know is wings.
Why are you so dumb?" Oh my God.
Bye-bye.